You are 18 years old, and today begins like every other day. The sun rises over Rome. Golden light spills across the rooftops. Merchants open their stalls. Workers fill the streets. Children run through narrow alleys. For millions of people, Rome is the center of the world. And for you, it is simply home. You live in an insula, a crowded apartment building several stories tall. Like most ordinary Romans, you are not wealthy. Far from it. The upper floors are small, cramped, hot during summer, cold during winter. The wooden stairs creak beneath every step. The walls are thin. Privacy barely exists, yet this is where your family lives. And to you, it feels normal. You wake to familiar sounds, neighbors arguing, street vendors shouting, the distant rumble of carts moving across stone roads. The city is never truly quiet, even before sunrise. Rome breathes constantly, day and night. Your mother is already preparing breakfast. Simple bread, olives, perhaps some cheese if the week has been good. Nothing luxurious, but enough. You sit beside your family, talking about ordinary things. Work, prices, neighbors, plans for tomorrow. None of you realize how precious this moment is, because within days, everything will be gone. After breakfast, you leave for work. The streets are already crowded, thousands of people moving in every direction. Merchants advertising their goods, sailors unloading cargo, laborers carrying stone and timber. The smell of food mixes with the smell of animals, and beneath it all, the smell of smoke. That is not unusual. Rome is full of smoke. People cook with fire. Blacksmiths work with fire. Bakers use enormous ovens. Fire is everywhere. Most Romans stop noticing it entirely, and that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. As you walk through the city, you pass magnificent temples, public baths, markets overflowing with goods from every corner of the empire. To visitors, Rome looks immortal, unstoppable, the greatest city ever built, a place that seems too powerful to fail. But beneath the beauty lies a problem, a dangerous one. Many buildings are packed tightly together. Wooden balconies stretch above narrow streets. Workshops store oil. Shops store cloth. Warehouses store flammable goods. Entire neighborhoods are built like dry tinder waiting for a spark. Most people never think about it, because disaster always feels distant, until it arrives. The day continues normally. The afternoon passes. The city grows hotter. The summer air feels heavy. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks. Someone laughs. A merchant argues with a customer. Life goes on, exactly as it always has. As evening approaches, you return home. The streets remain crowded. The city remains alive. Nothing appears unusual. Nothing appears wrong. Yet somewhere in Rome, at this very moment, a small flame has already appeared. A flame so insignificant that nobody notices it. A flame no larger than countless others burning throughout the city. But this fire is different, and before the week is over, it will destroy homes, separate families, kill thousands, and change Rome forever. For now, however, you know none of that. You climb the stairs, you sit beside your family, you eat dinner, and as darkness settles over the city, you prepare for sleep, completely unaware that tomorrow your nightmare will begin. The smell wakes you first, not the noise, not the heat. The smell, a strange burning smell drifting through the darkness. At first you barely notice it. You turn over in bed, half asleep, assuming someone nearby is cooking late into the night. It happens often in Rome. Then you hear shouting, distant at first, almost impossible to understand. A few voices, then more voices. then dozens. The sounds grow louder, more urgent, more frightened. Your eyes open. Something feels wrong, very wrong. You sit up. The room is dark. Your family is still asleep. For a moment, everything seems normal. Then you notice it. Smoke. Thin wisps of smoke creeping beneath the door. Your heart immediately begins racing. You stand, move toward the window, and look outside. At first, you only see a strange orange glow, far away, across the rooftops. Then you see flames, huge flames, far larger than anything you have ever seen before. People are already gathering in the streets. Some stare silently. Others point toward the fire. Nobody knows exactly what is happening, only that something terrible has begun. Your mother wakes, then your father, then everyone else. The smell of smoke fills the apartment. The atmosphere changes instantly. Sleep disappears. Comfort disappears. Safety disappears. You rush downstairs, joining hundreds of confused residents. The streets are crowded. People asking questions. People shouting rumors. People trying to understand the situation. Someone says the fire started near the commercial districts. Another claims several warehouses are burning. Another insists the fire will soon be extinguished. Most people believe him. After all, Rome has experienced fires before, but this one feels different. The flames seem unusually large, unusually fast, and then something changes. The wind. A powerful gust sweeps through the city. The flames surge higher. Sparks fly into the night sky. Entire rooftops suddenly ignite. The crowd falls silent, watching, realizing. The fire is not shrinking. It is growing, fast, far faster than anyone expected. Within minutes, panic begins spreading. Families start gathering possessions. Shopkeepers rush to save their goods. Parents search desperately for children. Neighbors scream warnings from windows. The streets become chaotic. Not because the fire has reached your neighborhood. Not yet. But because everyone understands it soon might. You watch a man attempt to load everything he owns onto a cart. Furniture, food, tools, blankets. His entire life packed into a few desperate bundles. Others are less fortunate. Some own too much. Some own too little. Some freeze completely, unable to decide what to save, unable to decide what to leave behind. Another powerful gust of wind blows through the city. This time the sparks travel farther, much farther. One rooftop catches fire, then another, then another. The crowd gasps. The fire is jumping, leaping from building to building, almost alive. And suddenly the terrifying truth becomes clear. This is no ordinary fire. This is something far worse, something Rome has never seen before. You look toward the horizon. The night sky glows bright orange. The flames seem endless, growing larger every minute, closer every minute, hungrier every minute. Your father finally says the words nobody wants to hear. We need to leave. For a moment, nobody moves. Leave? Leave home? Leave everything? The idea seems impossible. But outside, the screams continue growing louder. The smoke grows thicker. The orange glow grows brighter. And deep inside, you already know he is right. Because the fire is coming. And Rome is about to become a nightmare. Your father is right. You need to leave. Now. Not in an hour. Not after sunrise. Now. The apartment suddenly feels different, smaller, more fragile. Every second matters. Yet nobody knows what to take. Your mother gathers food. Your father grabs blankets. You collect whatever valuables your family owns. A few coins, a knife, some clothes, objects that seemed important only minutes ago. Now they feel meaningless. Because how do you choose what to save when your entire life is at risk? Outside, the streets are already overflowing. Hundreds of people, then thousands. Entire families carrying everything they can manage. Children crying, animals panicking, people shouting directions nobody can hear. The city is transforming into chaos, and the fire is still approaching. You look toward the horizon. The flames are larger now, much larger. Entire buildings are burning. Massive clouds of black smoke rise into the sky. The orange glow illuminates the city like a second sunrise, except this sunrise brings destruction. The wind continues pushing the fire forward, street after street, building after building, neighborhood after neighborhood. Nothing seems capable of stopping it. Suddenly, a shower of sparks falls from the sky. People scream. The embers drift through the air like burning snow. One lands on a nearby roof, then another, then dozens more. Within moments, a building only a few streets away catches fire. The crowd freezes, watching, hoping, praying. The flames spread almost instantly, climbing walls, leaping across rooftops, devouring dry wood. The speed is terrifying. For the first time, true panic begins. Not fear, not concern. Panic. People start running, not walking, running, pushing through crowded streets, desperate to get away, desperate to survive. A horse breaks free from a cart. The animal charges through the crowd. People dive out of the way. Children scream. The city feels completely out of control. Your family tries to stay together. Your father in front. Your mother beside you. Everyone holding tightly to one another. Because getting separated may be just as dangerous as the fire itself. Then comes a sound you will never forget. A deep, cracking noise. Loud, violent, terrifying. Everyone turns. A nearby building is collapsing. The structure groans. The upper floors crumble. Then the entire building crashes into the street. A massive cloud of dust fills the air. People run in every direction. The reality becomes impossible to ignore. Rome is falling apart. You continue moving, trying to escape, trying to stay ahead of the flames. But every street is packed. Every alley is crowded. Every route feels blocked. The heat becomes stronger. You can feel it on your face now, even from a distance. The fire is no longer somewhere else. It is coming toward you. Then you reach the end of your street, and your heart stops. Flames, directly ahead. Huge walls of fire, roaring, moving, growing, consuming everything in their path. People turn around immediately, trying another route. Any route. But thousands of others have the same idea. The city has become a trap. Your father looks around desperately, searching for a way out, searching for hope, searching for anything. For the first time in your life, you see fear in his eyes. Real fear. The kind of fear that tells you even adults do not know what to do. And at that moment, standing in the middle of a burning city, surrounded by smoke and panic, you realize something horrifying. This fire may not let you leave. The fire is everywhere now, ahead of you, behind you, above you. The city that once felt endless suddenly feels impossibly small. Every street seems blocked. Every escape route seems dangerous. The smoke becomes your greatest enemy. Thick, black, suffocating. Each breath burns your throat. Your eyes sting constantly. Tears run down your face, not from emotion, from survival. People cover their mouths with pieces of cloth. Others simply lower their heads and push forward, desperate for clean air, desperate for hope. The crowd continues growing. Thousands of terrified Romans flooding into the same narrow streets. Everyone trying to escape. Everyone trying to survive. A woman screams. You turn. A child has disappeared into the crowd. The mother pushes desperately between strangers, calling his name, again and again and again. But the city is too loud. The fire is too loud. The crowd is too large. Eventually her voice disappears, swallowed by chaos. You never learn if she finds him. Your family continues moving forward, slowly, painfully slowly. The streets are so crowded that every step becomes a struggle. People push, shove, fight for space. Not because they are cruel, because they are terrified. Fear changes people, even good people, especially good people, when survival is at stake. Suddenly, another building collapses nearby. The impact shakes the ground beneath your feet. The crowd surges forward. People scream. Some fall. Others are trampled before they can stand again. You try not to look, but you cannot stop yourself. The sight stays with you forever. The heat grows worse. Much worse. You are no longer simply near the fire. You are inside its reach. The air itself feels hot. Every breath feels heavier. Every step feels harder. Sweat pours down your skin. Ash settles on your clothes. The sky above has disappeared completely, replaced by smoke. Then you hear a strange sound, a deep roaring sound, almost like a storm. But there are no clouds, no rain, no thunder, only fire. The flames have become so large that they create their own wind, pulling oxygen toward them, growing stronger, growing faster, growing hungrier. The fire no longer behaves like an ordinary fire. It behaves like a living thing, a monster consuming the city. Your father points toward a side street, a possible escape, one final route away from the worst of the flames. The family turns immediately, pushing through the crowd, trying to reach safety. Then disaster strikes. A wave of people crashes into your group, hundreds running, screaming, trying to escape a nearby collapse. The force is overwhelming. You lose your grip for one terrible second, just 1 second, and suddenly your mother is gone. You spin around, searching, calling her name, again, again, again. Nothing. Only strangers, smoke, panic, fear. Your father is shouting, too, trying to find her, trying to reach her. But every second the crowd pushes harder. Every second the fire moves closer. For a moment, nobody knows what to do. Stay and search, or run? It is the cruelest choice imaginable, because waiting may kill everyone. But leaving may mean abandoning someone you love. Then another explosion echoes through the city. A warehouse ignites nearby. The fire surges higher than ever. The heat becomes unbearable. Your father grabs your arm, his face covered with ash, his eyes filled with desperation. We have to move. You look back one last time, still hoping to see her, still hoping she will appear through the smoke. But she never does. And as the flames continue, consuming Rome around you, the worst night of your life has only just begun. Your mother's name echoes through the smoke, again and again and again. But there is no answer. Only fire, only panic, only thousands of terrified people fighting to survive. You refuse to leave. At first, you keep searching, pushing against the crowd, ignoring the danger, ignoring the flames, ignoring the smoke burning your lungs. Because how can you abandon your own mother? Every face becomes a possibility. Every silhouette makes your heart jump. For a second, you think you see her. Then the smoke shifts, and she is gone. Your father searches too, calling her name, his voice growing weaker, more desperate. You have never seen him like this. Never. the strongest person you know, suddenly looks powerless. Minutes pass, or perhaps hours. Time no longer feels real. The fire has transformed Rome into a nightmare where nothing makes sense. The streets you knew your entire life have disappeared. Landmarks are gone. Buildings are gone. Entire neighborhoods have vanished beneath smoke and flames. You turn into another street, hoping, praying, searching. Instead, you find destruction. A building lies collapsed across the road. The people beneath it are impossible to help. The fire is already reaching the ruins. The survivors continue moving. Nobody stops. Nobody can. For the first time, you begin to understand something terrible. Rome is losing. The city itself is losing. This is no longer a fire that can be controlled. No bucket of water can stop this. No group of citizens can stop this. No amount of courage can stop this. The flames have become stronger than the city. As you continue searching, you notice something else. Silence. Not everywhere. Only in certain places. Entire streets stand empty. The people have already fled. Or worse. The only sounds remaining are burning wood and collapsing roofs. Ash falls from the sky like snow, covering everything. Your clothes, your hair, your skin. The city no longer looks like Rome. It looks like the end of the world. Then you see them. Bodies. Not many, but enough. Enough to understand the reality of what is happening. Some never escaped. Some were trapped inside their homes. Some were overcome by smoke. Some simply ran out of time. You immediately look away. But the images remain burned into your memory. Forever. Your father stops walking. For a long moment, he says nothing. He simply stares toward the horizon. You follow his gaze. The view steals your breath. Flames stretch across the city. Not one district, not two, not three. Entire sections of Rome are burning simultaneously. The fire reaches farther than you can see. The orange glow fills the entire night sky. At that moment, hope begins to fade. Not hope of surviving, hope of saving Rome. Because for the first time, you realize the truth. The city you love may already be doomed. Your mother is still missing. The fire is still growing. The streets are becoming more dangerous every minute. And somewhere deep inside, a terrible thought begins to form. What if you never find her? What if the last time you saw her was the last time forever? The thought terrifies you more than the fire itself. Yet there is no time to stop, no time to grieve, no time to think. Because suddenly, another section of the city erupts into flames nearby. The heat crashes over you like a wave. The crowd begins running again, screaming again, panicking again, and once more, survival takes control. You take one final look behind you. One final look toward the smoke-filled streets where your mother disappeared. Then you turn away and continue into the burning city. The night seems endless. Every time you think the fire cannot possibly grow larger, it does. Every time you think the worst has passed, something else burns. Hours ago, you believed Rome was too powerful to fall, too large, too important, too strong. Now, as flames consume district after district, that belief feels foolish. The city is losing, and everyone knows it. You and your father continue moving away from the worst of the fire. Not because you feel safe, because there is nowhere else to go. The roads leading out of Rome are packed, thousands of people fleeing, entire families carrying what little remains of their lives. A blanket, a basket, a few possessions. The lucky ones saved something. Many saved nothing. As dawn approaches, people begin gathering in open fields beyond the city. Anywhere the flames cannot reach. Parks, hills, empty land. Places never meant to shelter thousands of desperate survivors. The sight is heartbreaking. Children sleeping on the ground, elderly people wrapped in thin blankets, parents trying to comfort frightened families. Nobody knows what comes next. Nobody knows if their homes still exist. For the first time all night, you stop moving. Your legs ache, your lungs burn, your eyes sting from hours of smoke. Exhaustion crashes into you all at once. You sit on the cold ground, surrounded by strangers, yet everyone shares the same expression: shock. Some stare toward the city in silence, others cry openly, others simply look empty, as if their minds can no longer process what is happening. Nearby, a little girl asks her father a question, a simple question. "Can we go home tomorrow?" The man does not answer, because he cannot, because he already knows the truth. Many people no longer have a home. You look toward Rome. The city still burns. Even from this distance, the flames seem endless, like a second sun rising above the horizon. And then something inside you finally breaks. Not because of the fire, not because of the smoke, not because of the destruction, because of your mother. For hours you told yourself she would appear. For hours you convinced yourself everything would be fine. For hours you believed you would find her. Now that hope begins slipping away. You imagine her trapped somewhere inside the city, lost in the crowd, calling your name, searching for you just as desperately as you searched for her. The thought is unbearable. Your father sits beside you. Neither of you speaks. There are no words capable of fixing this. No words capable of undoing what happened. The two of you simply watch Rome burn. Eventually, the first sunlight appears. Weak, pale, barely visible through the smoke. For the first time, you can truly see the scale of the disaster. Entire districts are gone. Entire neighborhoods reduced to blackened ruins. Huge sections of the city still burn. Others are already destroyed. The Rome you knew yesterday no longer exists. People around you begin to realize the same thing. The crying grows louder. The silence grows heavier. The reality becomes unavoidable. This is not a bad night. This is not a temporary crisis. This is history. The greatest city in the world is burning before your eyes, and there is nothing anyone can do to stop it. As the sun slowly rises above the smoke-filled horizon, you feel smaller than ever before. A single person, a single family, a single life, caught in a disaster far larger than yourself. And as another column of smoke rises into the morning sky, you begin to wonder whether anything will remain when the fire finally ends. The fire does not stop. Not after one night. Not after two. Not even after 3. Every morning, survivors wake, hoping to see less smoke, less fire, less destruction. Instead, they see more. The flames continue moving through the city, consuming everything in their path. Homes, shops, warehouses, entire neighborhoods. At first, people continue hoping their district might survive. Perhaps the fire will turn. Perhaps the wind will change. Perhaps some miracle will save what remains. But miracles never come. Each day brings more terrible news. Another district destroyed. Another market gone. Another neighborhood erased from the map. The city that once seemed eternal now feels fragile. Painfully fragile. You spend most of your time among the refugees outside Rome. Thousands upon thousands of people living beneath open skies, sleeping on the ground, sharing whatever food remains, trying to survive. The camps grow larger every day as more survivors arrive, and more homes disappear. Food quickly becomes a problem. Most families escaped with almost nothing. A few loaves of bread, some water, a blanket. Nothing more. Days later, those supplies begin running out. Children complain of hunger. Parents skip meals so their families can eat. Arguments break out over food, over water, over space. The fire has not only destroyed buildings, it has destroyed security, routine, stability, everything that once made life normal. Your father spends every day searching for information, searching for survivors, searching for your mother. Every morning he leaves, every evening he returns, with less hope than before. Neither of you says it aloud, neither of you wants to, but the possibility hangs between you constantly. She may never return. The thought follows you everywhere, like a shadow. Impossible to escape. Rumors begin spreading through the camps. Rumors travel faster than truth, especially during disasters. Some people claim the fire started accidentally. Others insist someone started it deliberately. Others blame criminals, foreigners, enemies, anyone. Nobody truly knows. And in moments like these, uncertainty becomes its own kind of fear. Meanwhile, the city continues burning. One afternoon, you climb a nearby hill, wanting to see Rome one more time. The sight is devastating. Columns of smoke rise across the horizon. The sky itself seems wounded, dark, broken, unrecognizable. Entire districts have vanished, places where thousands once lived, places filled with memories, places filled with life, now reduced to ashes. You try to remember what those streets looked like before. The markets, the noise, the crowds, the laughter. Already, the memories feel distant, as if they belong to another lifetime. Nearby, another survivor begins crying. Then another, then another. The emotional weight of the disaster is becoming impossible to carry, because people are finally beginning to understand something. Even if the fire ends tomorrow, Rome will never be the same. The city that existed before the flames is gone, forever. And standing there, watching smoke rise from the ruins of the greatest city on earth, you realize you are witnessing the death of a world. Eventually, the fire begins to weaken. Not because anyone defeated it, not because anyone controlled it, because there is simply less left to burn. After days of destruction, the flames finally start dying. The smoke remains, the heat remains, the devastation remains, but the fire itself begins to fade. For the first time in what feels like forever, people dare to hope. Survivors gather at the edge of the city, watching, waiting, wondering what remains. Then the return begins. Slowly, cautiously, thousands of Romans start making their way back toward the ruins, back toward the places they once called home. You and your father join them. Neither of you speaks. Both of you fear what you might find. The closer you get, the worse it becomes. Entire streets have disappeared. Landmarks are gone. Buildings that stood for generations are now piles of black ash. Nothing looks familiar. The city feels like a stranger. The smell is unbearable. Burned wood, burned oil, burned lives. Everywhere you look, people search through ruins, searching for possessions, searching for memories, searching for answers. Some find pieces of their former lives, a tool, a necklace, a cooking pot, tiny fragments of a world that no longer exists. Others find nothing. You finally reach your neighborhood, or what used to be your neighborhood. For a moment, you cannot even recognize it. Your apartment building is gone, completely gone. Only a blackened skeleton remains. The stairs where you played as a child, gone. The room where your family ate together? Gone. The place you slept the night before the fire? Gone. Everything reduced to ash. Your father stands silently, staring at the ruins, unable to move, unable to speak. You have never seen him cry before. Not once in your life. Now tears run down his face. Not because of the building, not because of the possessions, because of what the ruins represent. The end of a life, the end of a home, the end of certainty. Nearby, people begin finding bodies. Some are identified immediately. Others are impossible to recognize. Families gather around the remains of loved ones. Some collapse from grief. Others simply stand motionless, too exhausted to cry. Hours pass, then more hours. Still no sign of your mother. You search every refugee camp, every aid station, every gathering of survivors. Nothing. The terrible possibility that haunted you for days becomes harder to ignore. Then, late in the afternoon, someone approaches your father. An older woman, covered in ash, exhausted. She recognizes your family name. For a moment, your heart races. Hope. Finally, hope. The woman explains that she saw your mother during the chaos, alive, separated from the crowd, heading toward another section of the city. The information is days old, uncertain, incomplete. Yet it changes everything. Because for the first time since the fire began, there is a chance she survived, a chance she escaped, a chance your family is not completely broken. As the sun begins setting, you stand atop a hill overlooking Rome. The fires are mostly gone now. Only thin columns of smoke remain. The city survived, technically, but not unchanged. Whole districts are gone. Thousands are homeless. Countless families have been separated forever. The Rome that existed before the fire is dead. A new Rome will eventually rise, stronger, different, rebuilt. But the people who lived through these days will never forget them. And neither will you. Because long after the flames disappear, the memories remain. The fire is over, but survival is not. Many people imagine disasters ending when the flames disappear, when the storm passes, when the danger leaves. The truth is far more difficult. Sometimes the hardest part begins afterward. Rome still stands, but barely. Thousands of people have nowhere to live. Entire families sleep beneath temporary shelters. Others sleep beneath open skies. Many possess only the clothes they were wearing when they escaped. You and your father are among them. The city that once felt like home now feels unfamiliar, broken, wounded, exhausted. Every morning begins with the same question. What now? Where do you sleep? What do you eat? How do you rebuild a life when everything has disappeared? Food becomes increasingly difficult to find. Markets no longer function normally. Warehouses have burned. Supplies are limited. Prices rise quickly. Long lines form wherever food is distributed. People wait for hours, sometimes all day. Arguments become common. Desperation grows. The fire may be gone, but suffering remains. Everywhere you look, survivors carry invisible wounds. A father searching for his children. A mother searching for her husband. A child searching for parents who will never return. The city is filled with people looking for someone, looking for something, looking for pieces of their former lives. You continue searching too. Searching for your mother. Each morning begins with hope. Each evening ends with disappointment. Days become weeks. Still no answer. Some people tell you to stop searching, to accept reality, to move forward. But how do you move forward when you do not know the truth? Hope can be painful, but uncertainty is worse. Meanwhile, Rome slowly begins rebuilding. Workers clear rubble. New roads appear. Construction begins almost immediately. The empire cannot allow its capital to remain broken. Stone replaces wood. New structures rise from the ashes. The city begins changing before your eyes. Yet for many survivors, rebuilding feels strange. Because buildings are easy to replace, people are not. You can construct a new house. You cannot rebuild a family. One evening, as the sun sets behind the damaged skyline, you sit beside your father, watching workers clear another section of ruins. For a long time, neither of you speaks. Then he finally says something. Rome will survive. You look toward the city, toward the scaffolding, toward the rebuilding, toward the determination of the survivors. And you realize he is right. Rome will survive. But many people will spend the rest of their lives carrying memories of these days. The smoke, the screams, the fear, the losses. The city will recover. The people may never fully recover. And perhaps that is the true cost of disaster. Not only what it destroys, but what it leaves behind. Weeks pass, then months. The city continues rebuilding. The streets slowly return. New buildings rise where ruins once stood. Life moves forward, whether people are ready or not. But for you, one thing never changes: the search. Every morning, you wake with the same thought. Maybe today. Maybe today someone will know something. Maybe today someone will remember seeing her. Maybe today everything will finally make sense. And every evening ends the same way, without answers. At some point, you stop counting the days. Hope becomes quieter. Not gone, just quieter. You still search, but no longer with the same urgency, no longer with the same certainty. Deep inside, you begin understanding something painful. Sometimes disasters do not give closure. Sometimes they leave questions, questions that remain unanswered forever. One afternoon, while helping clear rubble from a damaged district, you discover something unexpected. A small piece of jewelry, not valuable, not rare, but familiar. You recognize it immediately. It belonged to your mother. Your hands begin shaking. For a moment, the entire world becomes silent. You stare at the object, unable to move, unable to breathe. The fire suddenly feels close again. The smoke, the chaos, the screams, all of it rushing back at once. You never learn exactly what happened to her. You never learn where she spent her final moments. You never receive the answers you wanted. Only the truth. She is gone. And somehow, certainty hurts more than uncertainty. That evening, you sit with your father, the two of you watching the sunset beyond the rebuilding city. Neither of you cries. The tears were spent long ago. Instead, you simply sit together, remembering. For the first time since the fire, neither of you talks about searching, because the search is finally over. The grief remains, but the searching is over. Years pass. Rome grows again, larger, stronger, more magnificent than before. Visitors arrive and admire the city. Many never realize what once happened here. They see buildings, markets, temples. You see memories. You see the streets that burned, the homes that vanished, the people who never returned. The fire becomes history. But for the survivors, it never truly becomes the past. Because some events divide life into two parts: before and after. Before the fire, after the fire. Before your family was whole, after it was broken. Before you believed the world was permanent, after you learned how quickly everything can disappear. As you grow older, younger generations begin asking questions. What was it like? What happened that night? Were you afraid? You always give the same answer. Everyone was afraid. Not just because of the flames, not just because of death, because in a single night, people discovered how fragile life really is, how fragile cities are, how fragile families are, how fragile certainty is. And perhaps that is the lesson you carry for the rest of your life. Nothing lasts forever. Not cities, not buildings, not even the greatest empire on earth. Only memories remain. And sometimes, those memories burn longer than any fire. The fire is gone. The smoke has faded. The city has begun rebuilding. Life moves forward, as it always does. Years have passed since the night Rome burned. Years since you ran through smoke-filled streets. Years since you searched for your mother among thousands of terrified people. Years since you watched the greatest city on earth disappear beneath flames. And yet, some nights still feel exactly the same. Sometimes you wake suddenly, certain you can smell smoke, certain you can hear shouting outside, certain you can see the orange glow of fire beyond the window. For a few seconds, the nightmare returns, as real as it was on that terrible night. Then reality catches up. The fire is gone. The city survived. You survived. But survival is a complicated thing, because surviving does not mean escaping unchanged. The scars left by disasters are not always visible. The deepest scars rarely are. For the rest of your life, you carry memories that never fully disappear. The screams, the panic, the collapsing buildings, the faces of people desperately searching for loved ones, the helpless feeling of watching an entire world fall apart around you. And perhaps that is the first lesson of the Great Fire of Rome. Disasters do not simply destroy buildings, they destroy certainty. Before the fire, Rome felt eternal, invincible, permanent. Millions believed the city would always stand exactly as it was. Then one fire changed everything. In only a few days, entire districts vanished. Homes disappeared. Families were separated forever. Lives changed beyond recognition. The strongest city in the world discovered something every civilization eventually learns. Nothing is permanent. Not wealth, not power, not even Rome. That truth frightens people. It frightened the Romans. It still frightens us today, because we like believing that tomorrow will look like today, that the people we love will always be there, that our homes will always be waiting for us, that our lives are stable, predictable, safe. Then history reminds us otherwise. And perhaps that is why stories like this remain powerful thousands of years later. Because the Great Fire of Rome is not only about Rome, it is about human beings. It is about loss, fear, hope, and survival. As you grow older, younger generations ask about the fire. They want details, facts, numbers, dates. But those things never seem important to you, because when you remember the fire, you do not remember statistics. You remember people. You remember your family sitting together the night before everything changed. You remember your father's face in the crowd. You remember searching for your mother through smoke-filled streets. You remember the little girl asking if she could go home tomorrow. Those are the things disasters are really made of. Human moments, human losses, human courage. And courage existed everywhere during the fire. Not only among heroes, not only among soldiers, ordinary people. Parents carrying children through smoke, neighbors helping strangers, People risking their lives to save others. People refusing to abandon loved ones. Even in the middle of catastrophe, humanity survived. Perhaps that is the second lesson. Disasters reveal the worst of circumstances, but often the best of people. The fire exposed fear, but it also exposed compassion. It exposed destruction, but it also exposed resilience. Rome burned, yet Rome rose again. Not because the buildings survived, because the people survived. And in the end, cities are only stone and wood. What truly matters are the lives within them. So, would you survive the great fire of Rome? Maybe. Maybe not. You might escape the flames. You might survive the smoke. You might find shelter beyond the city walls. But survival would depend on more than strength. It would depend on luck, timing, circumstance, and countless things beyond your control. That is perhaps the hardest truth of all. Many good people did everything right, and still lost everything. Many survivors were not stronger, or smarter, or braver. They were simply fortunate. And sometimes, history is shaped by fortune as much as courage. Tonight, as you sit safely far from the burning streets of ancient Rome, take a moment. Think about the home around you, the people you love, the ordinary moments you barely notice. Because history teaches us something important. The things we assume will always be there are often the things we should appreciate most. The Romans learned that lesson through fire, and now their story survives. Not because of the flames, not because of the destruction, but because of the people who endured it. The people who lost everything, and somehow found the strength to continue. The fire is over now. The city is quiet. The night is calm. And for the first time since this journey began, there is no smoke on the horizon, no crowd running through the streets, no flames climbing toward the sky. Only silence, only memory, only history.